one day when you're 100 years old and you're talking about, well, that time when we had that pandemic, you're going to be 100 and someone's going to be like, I had a baby that year and you guys, because of your group, you connected me with Similac or with a bassinet, or I lost my job and because of your group, someone connected me with a resource and I was able to keep my home. Or I don't think that you guys get how profound of a difference you're making in the world. And it's partly because you're just in it. You're in the trenches right now. But I'm telling you, one day when you guys are old and you're rocking, in a rocking chair and you're talking to people, it's going to blow your mind. And it's going to blow your mind because people are going to tell you at a moment, years from now, when you're like on a hike or something, and they'll be like, dude, are you like Kane and Jen? And you'll be like, yeah, hey, we were in that group with you. And this is what you did for us. And I think that is when you're going to when it's going to really hit you. And when you're 100, what a big difference you made in the world and in people's lives. And I am so excited that we were able to have this conversation and to share you guys with people. In my wildest dreams, did I think that I would wake up at the beginning of 2020 and expect that half of Australia would be on fire. And I should mention, I had taken a month off of social media, so I had no idea what was going on. And then I get back on social media and World War III was trending. That was literally the day that I got back on, January 2nd. So I thought, you know what? Things can't get worse like that. Like things calmed down, no big whoop. And then, March. And we ended up being quarantined because of this crazy thing called COVID-19. I am very blessed to be living in the state of Colorado. I live in Denver, and I can't even begin to imagine having this experience in a different place than where I'm at. And one of the things that I've begun to notice is all of the amazing people and not so amazing people who've come out of the woodwork. Today, I'm recording a show with two of the most amazing people creating an amazing space and really showing that humans out there are incredible every single day, all day long. And it's re-energized me, renewed my faith in my fellow human beings, even though I tend to like people, but this group has made me feel so good for so many reasons. And I thought it would be great to have them on the show to share what their mission is, who they are, and why they're being moved to do what they do, and just why, like the why. So wherever you are listening to this show, I do hope that you are safe, that you're healthy, and that these two people, in addition to their colleagues who help them with what we're going to talk about, inspire you to pay it forward in some kind of way if you can. And if you aren't able to pay it forward because of whatever reason, that you are connected with a resource that can help better your life during a time that has been crazy pants. So without further ado, Jen and Kane, if you guys could introduce yourselves, that would be great, and we'll get started.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Lazecki, and I am here.
I'm her husband, Kane Lazecki.
And tell us more about you. I'm like, yeah. that was not, I didn't think that was a closed question. Apparently it is. So tell us a little bit about how you came to Colorado, how you guys met, we're nosy, and share a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah, so we are a husband and wife team that happened to work on the COVID page. I was born and raised here almost in the same neighborhood my whole entire life because I just love it so much. I don't want to leave. I went to Alameda High School. I was born and raised in Southwest Denver and the Lakewood area. My grandparents have lived and volunteered in the Athmar Park area for about 60 years.
Oh, wow. And what about you, Kane? How did you end up in Colorado?
I was born in New York, actually, and then my parents moved out here when I was 2. So
the born thing doesn't matter because you don't remember that. So you grew up in Colorado.
I grew up here. Yep. I grew
Okay.
up in Broomfield.
Oh, wow. And so you guys are lifelong Coloradans. What has it been like growing up here? And what is it about Colorado that you love so much? And what are some of the things you dislike as well?
Well, I mean, there's definitely more pros than cons, I would say. Weather's great. Sports teams are great. People are nice, friendly.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, Colorado has a way of, we've faced tragedies before. You know, Columbine, we went through when I was in high school. We have just a way of supporting each other and coming through when times are hard. And I really love that about our, even though we are growing so much, I think that core basic value is still there, that we support our neighbors.
What do you think about the growth? Before we started the call, I kind of vaguely said something about my opinion on it, but I'm interested in what has the growth been like for you? And then I'll kind of share more thoughts from my end.
It's been pretty good. I mean, I work in a retail environment in a small business in Denver. So for me, the more people that move here and the bigger the population gets and the more diverse it becomes, it brings a whole different, I don't know, almost a different generation of people to the Front Range, which is nice to see.
There's a little bit of a debate in our house about that. I love what is happening to Colorado, and I think that it's a huge opportunity for people. I do see kind of a sad aspect to it, and seeing, you know, neighborhoods that I grew up in change so much that sometimes I feel like they can lose the heart of that neighborhood and the beat of that neighborhood. But overall, I do think it's important to branch out and to have Colorado start to be a place where people want to be.
It's so funny because I'm kind of a mix of both of you guys. So I grew up in Boulder and Denver, and I alternated between those two towns for many, many years, and now I'm just in Denver. I am torn because I do believe that growth is important because of opportunity. I've seen when you look across the nation where other cities or states stagnate, it takes a very long time for them to rebound. But at the same time, it's like with that growth, we have to balance keeping what's special about Colorado special. And so I think that's why I loved what you said at the beginning, Jen, about the spirit of the people here. And I do feel that we still do manage to attract people who want to live here in Colorado because of that kind of energy of respecting the land, wanting to enjoy the outdoors, wanting to hang out and have a beer and chit chat with your neighbors. And I feel like that energy hasn't changed, even though the traffic has been insane.
Definitely. That traffic is something to get used to. I think we prided ourselves in being a big city with that small atmosphere to it.
Yes.
Glad to see that people still say hi on trails to each other. People still genuinely smile at you when you're out and about, and I'm glad that hasn't changed. I do wish the traffic was much, much better like it used to be.
I'm so over the traffic, but even now I'm like, we are trapped inside. I'll take the traffic. So I invited you to the show because you two are part of, I think there are 4 of you who put this group together. Am I correct?
Yeah, we ran off of 3 full-time admins and 3 part-time admins now.
Okay, so you are part of a community that like I said, I am so obsessed with for so many, many reasons. And it shows the best of us in so many ways every day. It blows my mind. And by the best of us, I mean the best of Colorado. And I did see that you had some television coverage as well. I saw that segment and I forget which show it was, but if you could talk about the help needed in Denver Metro COVID-19 Facebook group and how that even came about. You guys started that really fast. Literally at the beginning of the pandemic, at the beginning actually of the response locally, that thing popped up immediately. And I was like, even now thinking about this, I'm like, how did you know that there would be a need like this? So I just would love to hear how this even happened, how it happened so fast. And did you guys and your friends, were you having a beer before they shut us down and you were like, let's do this? How did this happen?
Well, it happened in kind of a little way. We were just trying to make our own lives and our friends' life easier. I was out of work. I had quit my job. The news piece talked about it a little bit too. I wanted to try to save the world. I wanted to go work for a volunteer organization, do something to better my community. My grandparents, like I said, have lived in the neighborhood for 60 years. They were all just about giving everything they had to their community. So I really wanted to do that. I'm a news freak. I TiVo a lot of news and watch a lot of news, and knew that COVID was going to come and that it was going to affect our community. So I woke up one morning, didn't talk to my lovely, wonderful husband here, and I put out a post on Facebook saying, hey guys, I'm out of work, I'm home, they're shutting down schools, I will watch your kids, we'll open up our house. So we got—
Whoa now. Okay, so I need to know, what did you quit your job this spring?
I quit it in February.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay, I'm getting like chills about this. So like, so one day you're just like, I'm done with whatever it is I was doing. I have a higher calling, and then you quit your job.
Yeah.
And then you're watching the news. And did you think that the Americans, as I am one, did you think that we were going to shut anything down? What was your take on our response? Because I'm trying to walk through the steps on this, because I don't think any of us at the end of February were like, they're going to shut things down here. Even if they should, I don't think they will. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I was there yet.
I had this gut feeling that we were going to shut down. Not in February, but I did try to get my own family and friends prepared. My husband and I have a debate whether or not they were making fun of me or they were kidding. I tried really, really hard to get my family to be prepared. I wanted them to have 2 weeks of food on hand. My husband supports me in everything that I do and got behind me 100%. We went to Costco and we got food for us and my dad, and we set a plan in place that if we were to shut down, we would have enough to support our friends who didn't think that it was going to happen.
Wow.
As our family.
So then you put this whole, hey, I'll babysit. And do you even have kids?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, so did you end up taking in littles and babysitting?
We did not. Things snowballed really, really quick. I had a friend reach out to me on the post and she said, hey, I will do that with you. That sounds like a great idea. She texted me that morning, I'd say within maybe 45 minutes. And she was like, do you know of a Facebook group we can join? And I said, no, but I'll gladly start one with you. And by the end of the day, we had 500 members?
Yeah, around that, yeah.
What week was that? That had to have been like the first week of March.
We started the group on March 13th.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. So were you shocked by the immediate response on and actually March 13th, because my mom's birthday is March 11th. March 11th, I think, was the day when we got the call to shut down. We were all like, what's happening? Or it was that week. So talk about how you create this group, 500 people sign up, and then what?
Yeah, we were blown away. We thought that it would maybe be our friends. I told Kane, I was like, hey, I'm doing this. I don't know what's going to be the result of it. I probably should have asked ahead of time about opening up our house, but our friends just shared it really, really, really fast. We had no idea, and it just kept snowballing from there.
What has surprised you the most about the need and the needs that you guys have observed people having?
I think it demonstrates how everybody's needs in a crisis are different. How we all have these needs because of one thing, because this virus has brought them to light. But getting your car fixed so you can go see a relative that is passing away and dying because of COVID, so you can stand outside their hospital room, or getting food. Everybody's needs is very, very important to them and their situation, and they get met on the page.
Were you surprised by how the community became like this organic search engine, if you will? If someone goes in, and I'm being a little facetious here, but seriously, if someone goes in and they're like, I need this thing, I need help getting connected to this, it's like within seconds, there is someone out there who's like, okay, I know we're like 17 people who have this, and we can get you this. And has that been fascinating for you to watch as well?
Yeah, I mean, we watched a lady get her entire new apartment basically furnished in one evening from people just full of donations for her, and one guy with a truck willing to take stuff to her and drop it all off. There was a mother with her, I don't remember how old her daughter was, a few years old. They just got out of homeless shelter.
A homeless shelter.
I mean, they had a bed, they had plates, they had cups, they had food that same night.
Beds, towels. In the very beginning, it took a lot of legwork from the admins. Kane and his friend delivered a fridge to an elderly lady. Kane actually went back with 2 more mini fridges after that fridge went out. But it took a lot of legwork. Kane was going to the grocery stores. I have a compromised immune system, so I would give him the shopping lists, and he was running out, and then I was getting gloved up and masked up and going out when I could. And it took so much work, but like you said, the admins were more of the coordinators now. By the time we approve the post and come back a few minutes to check on it, 15 people have responded with links, with offers of food, with I'll drive, I'll pick it up, I'll get it. It's been so amazing to watch the community work together.
Yeah.
How does it? Oh, go ahead, Kane.
I was just going to piggyback on that a little bit and just say the amount of resources that people just know of. Seems so difficult to find resources nowadays. I mean, we're getting a couple of food banks posted per day on what times they're doing food giveaways, what restaurants in the city are making and giving away meals to kids and first responders that just never would have thought of or been able to find any other way.
What are the top 3 needs you guys seem to see over and over again? What do you suspect are the top 3 needs?
You know, it changes quite frequently, but we do see the patterns emerge. I would say when this very, very first started, people were panic buying. So it was, where do we find food? Where do we find cleaning supplies? Where do we find? But as people are starting to settle in, and this has become the new norm, we're starting to see people want resources for mental health, for connecting people with each other, for, hey guys, I'm struggling right now. We had someone post looking for AA resources, a smoker wanting to quit smoking who wanted this support, and the community just came out. So I think overall, though, still it becomes, how do I get this? I'm out of a job. I have no money right now. And where can I get food for my family?
And there's still a need for toilet paper out there. People are still looking.
I will say what's really interesting about when resources are posted, that they're very exact. What I love is the members are from all over, and they're from all over the city. And they will say, you know, I was at, you know, such and such store, and there's still tons of toilet paper, and it's at, you know, this block, this intersection. So you don't have to like guess where to go. What are some of the lessons the people in your group have taught you about your fellow Coloradans? Like, I've been so humbled by the stories in the group, both the stories of the needs that they have, but also of the people taking care of them and helping them. So what have you learned about our fellow citizens through this incredible act of generosity that you guys have undertaken?
Well, our wedding song was Lean on Me.
Mm.
And I think that song sums it up right now, because Coloradoans have always come through in a single tragedy that may affect a very small group of people, like the Columbine shooting or the Aurora shooting, where it was just, centered on one traumatic event. But like you said, we started this group thinking it would just be the Denver area, and we quickly changed the name to the Denver metro area. But we have people from mountain communities on there from all over the state. And it's just really, Colorado never ceases to surprise me how much they care about one another and how they will just come through for each other no matter what. And it's hard. We used to do nightly recaps on the page, and I used to sit at our kitchen table and Kane would help me write down what had happened, and I would just cry because it's so heartwarming to watch everybody come together. And we've kind of stopped doing those nightly recaps because so much good happens within a day. We get around an average of 100 to 150 posts per day on the page.
Wow. How are you managing your own health and wellness right now?
I do a lot better than Jen does.
Yeah, Kane keeps me on track. Kane makes sure I eat. He makes sure I drink water. He bakes me cupcakes and keeps me going. But it's hard. It's hard to manage. Every morning, I just lay in bed a few minutes and I think people are counting on you. Come on, get up and rally again. And get up and you rally and you push through. And, the admins have a really good working relationship right now. And we just are in constant communication with one another so that we know what the other person is thinking at all times. And Kane is in charge of going through and making sure all the links are good links and following up to make sure that the resources are good. So we have a system to approve at the top of the hour posts and links, and we push through urgent needs faster. And then we try to take a mental break. And we have 2 puppies and a horse, and we...
Oh, you have a horse?
We do. We also have a cat, but he doesn't much emotional support.
I feel like cats don't really need us, though, so I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. He cuddles at night with us, makes us feel better. But we try, to tell the other admins, hey, we're going to take a break, we're going to eat dinner, or they tell us that, and then other people watch the page during that time, and we go get horse snuggles.
I almost feel like you quit your job and leaped into your calling. And this almost, to me, functions like a nonprofit of a sort. I can't figure out how, I feel like it's new and unusual, but it's like this cloud-based nonprofit. And that's actually really effective using people power. And I think that you, like all of you, should feel so proud of what you've done. And also just the lesson of trusting your gut. Like, I know, Jen, that they were thinking you were running around with a tin foil on your head acting crazy. And I know that from now on, they're going to be like, we are going to listen to Jen. When she has these ideas in her head, we're going to listen.
I'm really grateful that Kane listened. Because he drives, I don't drive, so he has to go to the store.
Oh man, I do have a question. There are a couple of things I do want to ask. The first is, if I want to help someone in my own way, what are some of the things that I could do? And I, being the listener, what are some of the things that have been helpful that you've seen people help others with in the group?
Yeah, so right now we do have a running list of volunteer opportunities on our page. If you just search underneath the topic post for volunteer opportunities, a lot of people do need supplies given out. Food banks that are delivering really need help getting food portions to families in need. That's been a huge one.
A lot of people are cleaning out their house right now. Like the amount of donation stuff that we've seen over the last, I'd say, 2 weeks, between clothing, desks, beds. If you don't need it, because I know like thrift stores right now are closed, but there's still people willing to pick up and deliver goods to people. If you were sitting on a bag of clothing, there's probably someone out there that could use it right now.
Yeah. With people being out of jobs, those needs don't go away. So if you're able to donate that way, people are willing to get the stuff to those in need.
I have another question. I think it's something that I did not email you. I forgot to email you this question, but how can people make sure that they're being safe as they do these things? And also, I mentioned I'm a personal finance blogger, a money blogger, and while I don't have a problem donating financially, like paying money for certain things, I do think there's a protocol to keep you safe. So, what are some of the things that you're helping kind of inform your community, or just maybe like things are coming in, you're like, nope, that seems a little sketchy. Like, what are some of the things you're doing to make sure that people are safe as they help others? Because I feel like 99% of the people in the group are fabulous, but it's a human world. So there's always some 1%. So how can we keep ourselves safe as we give and as we care for one another?
I'd say the two biggest things is we're just really focused on everything being donation based and not asking for money for anything. That way there's really no human contact when you go to these interactions. And then everything else has really just been porch pickup, where people are leaving stuff on their porch, whether it's goods or food or items. And then the other people are driving there, picking it up. We're urging everyone to follow CDC guidelines and keep your distance, wear your gloves. I think most of us all have face masks by now. We filter through a lot of the posts. You talk about the 99% all being good, but there is that 1%. And we've gotten pretty good at spotting them and keeping them out of there.
And we do reach out. Part of the reason we started approving posts, because we're trying to really adjust as an admin team to the needs on the page. We try to make a very, very inclusive environment. So we pride ourselves in not being a typical Facebook page. We shut down any shade that is thrown right away. We encourage our members to not question motives, but to report to an admin if something seems off as you are starting to talk with the person that is the poster. Also, if something does seem off, your admins are going to message that person and talk to them either via the phone or through Messenger.
Oh, wow.
Understanding of the need.
Like
a full-time job.
I imagine that you might need more help with this. Are you requesting help from other people to be admins? Like, how can we help you in that way?
Yeah, so I think we count on, I know that I've struggled with this myself. I've broken down and cried a couple of times in Kane's arms because I feel like 11,500 people are personally on my shoulders that I'm carrying them. And we are asking all of those members on the page, you see something that doesn't seem right, report it to an admin immediately. And we're asking people to make sure that we're holding each other accountable for following the rules. If you see a rule breaking that we're not aware of, we try to constantly scroll through and check out posts, but it is hard for 6 of us. And yeah, if people want to be a moderator on our page, reach out to either one of us and we would be happy to get you some specifics. We really would love help with tagging posts and reading comments and making sure that everybody is behaving.
I have several friends who run very large Facebook communities, and they do take some care and nurturing regardless of the community. Every single one of them, because people are people. And so what I will say is it's such a positive space that I can tell that you guys are very intentionally caring about what goes into the group. It's a public group, but I can tell that you're curating carefully the content so that we feel safe in that space. So I want to let you know that it's very much noticed on my end, and I'm sure other people as well. If you're a business person listening to this show and you have a good or service or what have you that you'd like to share with the community, what does that look like? Like, how can they connect with you guys about that?
Yeah, so they can we can share our emails and they can reach out to us. They can also message us right off of Facebook. Also, we have had several partnerships that the admins have coordinated where people don't feel comfortable posting on the page themselves, and we can get them in touch with the right people.
Real talk, this is going to go on for a while. Even as they gradually open things, the kind of shock to people's lives that's occurred is going to resonate for a while. What do you see happening with the group over time? Do you have the energy to continue to sustain it, or what's your hope for it?
Well, anybody that I've ever managed will tell you that I can go with this intense amount of energy for a really long time, almost to my own detriment. But my goal is to keep this community alive and functioning. And if we had more help, we could better. It's a marathon, right? We're trying to run a marathon here. It's not a sprint. It's not something that's going to be accomplished really easy. Just there's so much love in this group that I just want to keep it going long after this.
I really appreciate the time that you guys spent with me here on the show. What do you imagine Colorado is going to be like after this? Do you think we'll be better people? What do you imagine?
I don't know. I'm really hoping that everyone will just take the time to slow down a little bit more.
Mm.
The last couple of years, Colorado became a little more hectic and fast-paced with all the changes. That maybe people will just slow down, catch another happy hour with their friends, and just take it all in.
Some of our best time that we ever spent with each other was in Paris on our honeymoon. And we didn't pick up our phones once. We just sat in cafes and talked with each other. And I hope that people connect with their relatives and their family more and friends more and just get off of social media, technology, and put down the phones and realize that it's the little moments in life that matter. Oh, just slow down. Just like Kane said, just slow down.
I think that honestly, that sentiment is the perfect place to end this conversation. I am so grateful to you guys. I am so excited that you're a part of my community. You've changed lives in ways that, like, I'm feeling a little teary-eyed thinking about it. I'm just like, wow. One day when you're 100 years old and you're talking about, well, that time when we had that pandemic, you know, you're going to be 100 and someone's going to be like, I had a baby that year and you guys, because of your group, you connected me with Similac or with a bassinet, or I lost my job and because of your group, someone connected me with a resource and I was able to keep my home. Or I don't think that you guys get how profound of a difference you're making in the world. And it's partly because you're just in it. You're in the trenches right now. But I'm telling you, one day when you guys are old and you're rocking, in a rocking chair and you're talking to people, it's going to blow your mind. And it's going to blow your mind because people are going to tell you at a moment, years from now, when you're on a hike or something, and they'll be like, dude, are you like Kane and Jen? Yeah. Hey, we were in that group with you and this is what you did for us. And I think that is when you're going to when it's going to really hit you. And when you're 100, what a big difference you made in the world and in people's lives. And I am so excited that we were able to have this conversation and to share you guys with people. And who said that one person or two or three could make a big difference in the world? And you guys are. So thank you guys so much. I wish you all the best. And I hope that you continue to get the support and encouragement and rest that you need to keep this going.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for getting the word out about us. The more people that we can reach, the better. We just want to help all those in need. And now you've made me teary-eyed by your closing remarks there.
Well, you guys, thank you so much.